cabinet ministers of African countries. Department of Heritage announces a survey related to heritage sites in Maldives. And the federal government shut down at midnight Friday as senators continue to scramble to reach a deal to fund the government.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Nasma Abdul Muhsin and this is PSM News. Minister of Fisheries and Agriculture Dr. Muhammad Shaini meets various cabinet ministers of African countries. Minister Shaini is currently on a 3-country tour of Africa as a special envoy of President Abdullah Yameen Abdul Qayyum.
During his trip to Africa, Minister of Fisheries and Agriculture Dr. Muhammad Shaini first visited Tanzania. In his visit, Minister Shaini met with his Tanzanian counterpart, Minister of Livestock and Fisheries Luhags Joel Sanpina, and discussed issues of common concern. In addition, Fisheries Minister Shaini called on the Foreign Minister of Tanzania, Augustine Philip Mahiga, and discussed cooperation in areas of mutual interest. Minister Shaini then visited Mozambique, where he called on the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Mozambique, Jose Kondungua Pacheco. The discussions of the meeting focused on gaining support for Maldives in the June election for United Nations Security Council seat for 2019 to 2020. During the meeting with the Foreign Minister of Mozambique, Fisheries Minister Shaini reassured the readiness of Maldives to share its experience with partners in Africa in various areas of development, especially in sustainable fisheries and tourism. Moreover, the minister held discussions with the Minister of Sea, Inland Waters and Fisheries of Mozambique, Agostinho Mondlane, regarding allocation of fisheries resources in the Indian Ocean. Last stop at his current trip is South Africa, where he is expected to meet key figures of the government. Minister of Fisheries and Agriculture Dr. Muhammad Shaini is currently on a 3-country tour of Africa as the special envoy of President Abdullah Yameen Abdul Qayyum as part of the campaign to secure a seat for the Maldives at the United Nations Security Council. According to the Ministry of Fisheries and Agriculture, during the tour meetings, discussions would be held to seek support for the recommendations Maldives has proposed for the fishing guidelines for the country's fishing in the Indian Ocean.
Department of Heritage of Maldives decides to conduct a survey related to heritage sites in Maldives. The survey will be conducted with the Oxford Centre for Islamic Studies, or CIS. It stated that experts from the utilized in the survey. Department of Heritage aims to commence the survey within this year. Ministry of Gender and Family reveals that the number of cases reported to the ministry related to violence against children decreased in December last year compared to November. While 124 cases were reported to the ministry in November, the number of cases reported declined to 87 in December.
According to statistics revealed by the ministry, it received and attended a total of 203 cases in December last year. A total of 87 cases were reported to and attended by the ministry regarding violence against children, which amounts to 43% of the total cases received and attended to in December last year. The most frequently reported cases in this category involve sexual abuse. A total of 29 cases were reported in this category. Other forms of violence against children include 27 cases of physical abuse, 13 cases of neglect, 10 cases of emotional abuse, 5 cases of witness to domestic violence, 2 cases of cyberbullying and harassment, and 1 case of commercial exploitation. The ministry further revealed that a total of 10 cases were reported to and attended by the ministry regarding children in conflict with the law in December 2017, which included cases of stealing and drug abuse, and 7 cases regarding varying behavioral problems of children in December last year. Moreover, 8 cases were reported regarding child rights violations and 38 cases of family issues. The reports included 20 cases of custody or excess, 11 cases of parenting issues, and 7 cases of child maintenance. According to statistics, 38 cases involving gender-based violence and domestic violence were reported to and attended by the ministry, which amounts to 19% of the total cases. The most frequently reported cases involve forms of physical abuse, out of which 20 were reported during this period.
AntiCorruption Commission ACC declares that there were no acts of corruption involved in the process of hiring China's Dongfeng Electric International Corporation for the installation of a high-voltage electricity system between Male and Hulmale. The high-voltage electricity system between Male and Hulmale, which is connected via the China-Maldives Friendship Bridge, was halted to enable ACC to investigate accusations to that effect. According to State Electric Company Limited Stelco's Managing Director Ahmed Zuhur, ACC reviewed the documents of the project and concluded it met all the criteria of a legitimate transaction. Initiated by President Abdullah Yamin Abdul Qayyum, the 5th Power Development Project is the largest power project implemented in the Maldives. The 5th Power Development Project, which will see the installation of 6 8.9 megawatt of diesel power generation, is contracted to China-based Dongfeng Electric International Corporation. Chief Investment Officer of Sinha Estate Company Limited, Thiti Thongbenjamin, states that although the concept of integrated tourism might be relatively new to Maldives, it does not pose any challenge to the tourism sector. Speaking on PSM News' talk show Talk Maldives, CIO Thiti Thongbenjamin stated that the Embudu Lagoon project will showcase a mix of global cultures.
Speaking on PSM News' weekly talk show Talk Maldives, Chief Investment Officer of Sinha Estate Company Limited, Thiti Thongbenjamin, stated that Maldives has been an exemplary nation in the fields of tourism and hospitality. In this regard, the CIO cited that it is high time for Maldivian tourism industry to expand its scope by integrating various traditions and cultures to provide a premium and all-inclusive tourism experience. He added that the development of Embudu Lagoon, a project that would see the development of 9 resorts on 9 islands, would offer vibrant cultural experiences.
We are planning to do October of this year as in soft opening, which consists of 2 resorts, one being a hard rock resort, right, family positioning resort, and the other one is more of a leading category transit hotel, which we just about to sign with one of the largest hotel operator. Those will be fully complete in October. In addition to that, the phase 1 of the retail township component also.
Shedding light on the benefits small and medium-scale businesses can derive via the project, Thongbenjamin stated that it would provide a platform for local and foreign businesses to share the expertise. He highlighted that one of the resorts developed as an entertainment resort would provide local artists and foreign artists an opportunity to share the same platform and would in turn pave way for local artists to receive a global recognition. The first phase of the Embudu Lagoon project, which is all set to be launched during the 4th quarter of this year, is being developed at a cost of about $311.5 million. This phase would see the development of 3 island resorts and a co-island township, bringing a veritable wealth of world-class F&B, retail entertainment, recreation and leisure lifestyle experiences to the Maldives for the very first time.
China achieves better than expected growth in 2017 on the back of an improving world economy and strong trade performance, while credit growth has also been slowing, according to economic experts.
Gong Jiong, a professor at the University of International Business and Economics in Beijing, said that due to the global market picking up, China performed extremely well in exports. China's 2017 exports and imports grew at their fastest rate in the last 6 years, returning China's trade balance back to the positive. In addition, household income continued to grow in 2017, which helped the overall economy as the country is now more consumption rather than investment-driven. China's credit growth, a primary concern of many economic experts, has also been slowing. According to the People's Bank of China, outstanding yuan loans grew less than 13% year-on-year by the end of 2017. China's deleveraging of its economy and reforms to its state-owned enterprises are expected to continue in 2018, and it is estimated that the economy will expand around 6.5% this year.
China and the United Kingdom seek to develop more economic cooperation opportunities under the Belt and Road Initiative after Brexit, as discussions were made on the China-UK Economic and Trade Forum in London Thursday. The forum was attended by over 200 political and business leaders from the two countries, including Liu Xiaoming, China's ambassador to the United Kingdom.
The UK has got many unique resources and is a natural partner driving the cooperation of the Belt and Road Initiative in the West, said Charles Broman, the Lord Mayor of the City of London, at the forum. Among the experts present at the forum, Ginny Yan, Chief Economist of the ICBC Standard Bank, said the UK will be focused in terms of Belt and Road, and thus local institutions are very interested in the initiative.
UK will continue to be very focused in terms of Belt and Road, and this is why the UK institutions are very interested in the Belt and Road initiative. If they are successful in terms of engaging the relevant initiatives and institutions, then this will boost their economic growth in the longer term. This is one of the key focus points for the UK government, because this is in fact going to be a propeller for the growth of the UK economy, particularly after Brexit.
Over the past years, the British government has actively participated in the Belt and Road Initiative proposed by China. Liam Fox, the UK Secretary of State for International Trade, announced in January that the government will provide £25 billion for the British enterprises who are involved in the Belt and Road Initiative. Headed by UK's former Prime Minister David Cameron, a China-UK bilateral investment fund of £750 million will also be launched to support projects under the Belt and Road Initiative. The UK can help China in terms of all the financial aspects of the Belt and Road, added Lyons.
The United States federal government shuts down at midnight Friday as senators continue to scramble to reach a deal to fund the government. This is the first modern government shutdown with Congress and the White House controlled by the same party, and it comes on the one-year anniversary of President Donald Trump's inauguration.
Trump's White House immediately blamed Democrats for the shutdown. Trump and his representatives had been labeling the event the Schumer shutdown after Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, but the New York Democrat was quick to call it the Trump shutdown. 60 votes were needed to advance the bill to keep the government open for 4 weeks. Republicans only control 51 seats, so GOP leaders needed Democratic votes to cross that threshold. It failed 50-49. One of the key issues Friday has been just how long to extend funding. The House passed a measure Thursday night to continue funding the government through February 16, and that measure is the one that failed in the Senate early Saturday morning. Democrats have pushed for a shorter-term continuing resolution of a couple days. Senator Lindsey Graham, a South Carolina Republican who said he would not vote for the House proposal, said he pushed a plan to keep the government open till February 8th. After the vote, McConnell said he will offer a new continuing resolution to fund the government through February 8th. McConnell said he wanted to introduce it during this early morning session, but he wasn't able to for procedural reasons, and it wasn't clear if that measure would have had enough Democrats to advance it.
French President Emmanuel Macron states that a bespoke Brexit deal is possible, but only if it is consistent with the European Union's single market. He made this statement in an interview with BBC's Andrew Marshall.
Macron told Ma he had previously used references to the EU's deals with Canada and Norway because, like them, any special way for the UK must not undermine the functioning of the single market.
And it depends on proposals made by the UK, but for sure, full access for financial services to the single market is not feasible given the functioning of the single market. So by definition, it's not a full access.
Macron added that only by respecting the necessary preconditions, budgetary contributions, acceptance of the full freedoms of the relevant EU jurisdiction, could the UK's lucrative financial services industry maintain full access to the single market.
I'm not the one to negotiate, and I don't want to close doors, but it depends on what you're ready to put on the table in terms of precondition. If you respect the precondition to get access to single market, it's feasible. But there is no cherry-picking in the single market.
Macron's visit to Britain, including a welcome by Prime Minister Theresa May, saw him reiterate ties of friendship between the countries, and that under current Brexit plans, the city will not be able to enjoy its current level of EU access.
Mexico City formalizes its part of a joint bid for the 2026 World Cup alongside Canada and the United States, putting aside politics to host the world's most popular sports tournament.
The United 2026 bid members has been touted as an ideal choice for FIFA, with the three nations possessing all the necessary infrastructure and stadiums to host the massive 48-team tournament. Mexico City has already hosted the World Cup in 1970 and 1986, and the United States in 1994. Officials say this experience only adds to the credentials of the United campaign. The next stage of the bidding process is for FIFA's Congress in June to hear the case as to why the three nations should get the event. Morocco is currently the only bid running against the joint proposal from the US, Canada, and Mexico. Other risks to the United 2026 bid could be the decline of the United States' global popularity. Officials of the North American campaign have conceded that their efforts have not been helped by the sight of disgraced FIFA officials being paraded in front of the US judges on corruption charges and the escalation of tensions in the Arab world over President Donald Trump's decision to move the US embassy in Israel to Jerusalem.
And that's all we have for you right now. Thank you for watching. Have a very pleasant day.